Okay, so today I'm going to be posting a special treat on an old hobby that I like to do, and on occasions I'll still sort of run myself through some fun and make one. It's a knife sheath, and yes, this is a true flight thrower from Cold Steel, if anybody's curious. It just doesn't have the paracord handle. It's got a new teak and copper rivet varnished handle. And yeah, so today we're gonna do some sheath making out of leather and copper rivets. Stay tuned for the ending for a special treat. You know what, I told myself that the last time that I made one of these that I was gonna film it, and I filmed it, and then I didn't keep the film because I was like, oh, it's too long. So yeah, you just cut your leather out with your whatever you want. I think this works best. And I use copper rivets, I guess you would call them copper rivets. So cut my leather out, and I have several layers to it. This one is the layer for the belt. The belt goes through the back. And then this one goes over the top for the knife itself, and then it gets pinched, and I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, yeah, so I put in one of them, and it's almost finished. Sometimes you just need a little bit of TLC. Yep. Alright, so I'm just going to drill holes along this side first, and then I'll drill holes along that side second. A little bit difficult and complicated to explain, but I put the first one in as a pivot, so I can pivot that, so I get it as close to flat as possible with the other side. And if you don't trace them right, it won't come out exact, but I'm okay with it not coming out exact. Alright, so I marked my holes. You can't see it. They're very, very fine markings. And now I'm going to line this up with the side. You want to leave yourself like half an inch, kind of like between half an inch and quarter inch of material. Mostly because of the washer size of the rivets. Alright, so done that side, and now I'm gonna bump it over. It comes out flat to this side. Alright. Can't really see that. Alright, so now we're just gonna do this part as simple as squashing this little nail through these tiny little holes. There we go. Oh no. No. Yeah, alright, so put the washer on first, and then squash it through the hole. Right. And I always put the nail head on this side, back side, because it's the smooth side. It's the side that goes on your pants or on your leg or whatever. and that this side has like the less smooth side, so that you don't like scrape up your pants or something. And then you have to get your handy snippums. Very complicated, irritating part to this. You have to get it very exact. You know? Exact. That's one down. And a few more to go. There are special tools for this, of which I do not use. Oh, so satisfying. Oh, another copper rivet. Oh my god, so satisfying. You rub your finger over them. Sometimes you'll find an uneven spot and you just want to put it back down. But you got to get that size very exactly precise. If it doesn't come out exact and you have too much copper, it'll go diagonal and you'll have to like cut it out, start over. Alright, so just to make it less boring and to skip over the woodpecker noise, I'm going to move forward with showing the end result of the sheath and one of the accidental errors of putting too much copper on one of the rivets, and then we'll move ahead with the end result of how the sheath looks. Alright, so I'm going to use this next muted, fast-forwarded 1 minute section to explain that the third and or top layer of leather is wider, sort of like a conical shape, compared to the other ones, other 2 layers beneath it that are the same size and same shape. That this top layer is less long and is wider. So I wanted to explain that at this part of the video I made a small mistake and I left a little bit too much copper on the rivet itself, and instead of clipping it off I tried to mushroom it down and it went diagonal, so I have to remove it. So this is a good example of when you make it too large, the piece is too large and it goes diagonal. So it starts there, right? See, it's gone like diagonal through it. So now I've got to cut it off, start again. Alright, once the leather settles down a little bit, stretches out, don't have any problems with it sticking. In the beginning, it can be a little bit tight. As time goes on, like I said, leather stretches out a little bit. It is pretty tight. You can also take something, stick it in the top, and leave it there for a while. That usually widens it up too. Yep. There it is, Leather Sheath 101. Alright, so this is a special treat at the end of the video type of deal. This is a box cutter holder, or like box cutter sheath, and it's not fully copper rivets, and for a really good reason too. It uses paracord because I didn't have sinew at the time, so I used paracord, like leather string sinew, because the box cutter is retractable, so it won't cut the paracord. So I figured why not just use it, because copper rivets are kind of expensive. Yeah, you can make a lot of different stuff out of the leather and the copper rivets, or paracord. Some people like the paracord. I personally don't think it goes along with leather. I just don't think it goes together. But send me a comment if you want me to make like a tomahawk sheath. You know, I can make a tomahawk sheath or something else. You know, if you have like a suggestion on what type of sheath that you might want me to put together, I'd be cool with trying to put something together. I don't really use a sheath for a tomahawk. I just kind of tuck it in my belt loop. But I think a tomahawk sheath would be pretty easy to make. It'd be pretty cool. Somebody wants me to show them how I make that. So yeah, it's like the gravity aspect. Doesn't seem like it's coming out. Wow, okay. I would have suspected it too, it came out.